Hi everybody, welcome to EduTap and also welcome to the class on ARD Current Affairs. And today we are covering July part 1. Okay, so if you are new to these particular lectures, so what we do every week we have the session and part by part we cover the important news that were there related to ARD in the news. Okay, so today we are going to cover the top news that were there for the first 15 days of the July month. Okay, so let's start off, and the first question here we have it is I'm not sorry the not the first question, but yes, the first news that we have. Okay, so FCI, okay, it has procured 266 lakh metric ton wheat during the RMS 24-25. Okay, so see, this news is just like generic information. However, these information we can utilize. In fact, whatever be the news that we are going to study today, these can be beautifully integrated in the descriptive answer writing. Okay, so first of all, what is FCI? It is Food Corporation of India and it is their logo. Okay, so Food Corporation of India, they have this time for the RMS is your Rabi marketing season. Okay, Rabi marketing season जो 24-25 अभी चल रहा है, it is currently going on. Under that, the FCI has, they have procured 266 lakh metric ton of wheat. Okay, if you talk about the price, the MSP that is for the RMS season 24-25, it is rupees 2275 for wheat, okay, per quintal. And FCI, if you look compare from the last time, we have increased this number of procurement. Last year it was 262 lakh metric ton, and before that it was 188 lakh million ton. So we are looking at that how government every year they are increasing the procurement. Okay, and why do they do so? Why does government do so, right? So first thing is, देखो, if you look from the perspective of the government. Okay, so देखो, government they run a lot of schemes where they provide food to the BPL or below poverty line, or the people, they give the government, they give them option to get the food grains at a very subsidized rate. Okay, so how can the government do that? How can they provide so much how can they offer the consumer so much lesser rate of the crops, right? They do so because they directly, the government, they directly buy it from the farmer, they directly procure it from the farmer. ठीक है, so government जैसे भी currently they are we have public distribution system. ठीक है, you must have heard of ration की दुकान, right? So that is the public distribution system where at the very minimal rate you get these grains, right? And for that you require a ration card. Okay, apart from that, there is also one scheme that is going on, which is Prime Minister Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. Okay, where what government is doing, to a certain section of society, they are free of cost, they are providing these food grains to the consumer, to the people, so that they can survive. Okay, they can have their food requirement fulfilled, right? So government get a lot of benefit if they are directly procuring from the farmers, right? On the other hand, farmers just have the security that if nobody is buying, they can just directly sell it off to the government. And there are various agencies, we have NAFED, we have other agency also, but FCI की यहाँ specifically बात कर रहे हैं कि उन्होंने 266 लाख मेट्रिक टन जो है प्रोक्योर किया है. ठीक है, farmers they do have the option, government they do give them the option that if farmer want to sell it in the open market to any private entity, farmers are free to do so. But if nobody is buying the crops from the farmer, then in that case farmer can directly sell it off to the government. Okay, so here this particular news was about that. So it just like you can just read it, have an information that what is currently going on in terms of the activities that is going on along in the agriculture sector. And according to the news, so this news was present in your press information bureau, and as per it, more than 22 lakh Indian farmers have been benefited because of this procurement that has happened till now for the RMS 24-25. Okay, and it's been said that around 0.62 like crore rupees has been deposited in the bank accounts of the farmers through the direct benefit transfer. So under the scheme, under this particular news, government is saying that whatever procurement has been done, directly the transfer of the funds have been done to the farmer's account. Okay, now that was the first news. Now coming to the second news, that is Kharif sowing area of onion is set to be 27% higher than last year. Now what does it mean? देखो, currently Kharif season is going on. Kharif season आपका कौन सा होता है? ये जो रेनी सीजन होता है, ठीक है, दिस इज योर खरीफ सीजन. जून जुलाई में स्टार्ट होता है, नवंबर आपका जून जुलाई में स्टार्ट होता है, अराउंड आपका आपका अक्टूबर नवंबर या नवंबर दिसंबर तक आपका ये चलता है, ठीक है। तो अभी खरीफ सीजन इट इज currently going on, so basically sowing and everything is happening, right? Whatever crops that needs to be sown. So government, every time a season comes, government definitely they would try to increase the sowing area. Why is it so? Because we have the increasing population, we have to feed that demand, right? And if surplus is there, we can even sell it off in the foreign market as well. So definitely every time when the season come, government they promote the sowing area, the more and more sowing, right? अब this time क्या हुआ? Because this time first of all we had timely monsoon. Okay, so very good thing has happened. As of now for the farmer, we do not know how much unexpected rainfall that might happen, but as of now during the sowing season, first of all we had the timely monsoon, okay, and even the like rainfall it is in also in the optimum amount, right? It's not that we are facing scarcity for the in the case of rainfall. So because of this timely rainfall, the sowing the even the farmers they have become more encouraged and energetic to have more and more sowing, okay. And government is specially targeting, as of now you can see that how much prices have been increased of onion, potato, tomato in the local market, right? So to in future to tackle with the problem, because we have to increase up production, then only there will be then the supply will be able to meet the demand in the market, and that is only how the rates of onion and potato, tomato which has increased substantially अभी के लिए वो क्या हो जाएंगे, वो रिड्यूस हो जाएंगे, ठीक है, सब्सटैंशियली रिड्यूस करने के लिए। तो अनियन की बात करें, गवर्नमेंट इज एमिंग अनियन को ज्यादा से ज्यादा एरिया मिले, ठीक है। तो द टारगेट एरिया दैट गवर्नमेंट हैज डिसाइडेड अंडर द खरीफ onion, it is said to be around 3.61 lakh hectare. I would not say this can come in your objective, ठीक है, again that is not that will never come in objective. However, you can just read it about like this 27% higher increase, this somehow you can utilize in any descriptive writing, right, if you want to. But when we are reading a news, right, we anyway we have very shorter sessions, right, and we are discussing a news, so whatever be the details that are present, but whenever required and whenever not required, means whenever required, I'll let you know that this is important, this is not important. So this is 3.61 lakh hectare. This is not as much as important, as you can keep this thing in mind that 27% like we have increased, the government has targeted to increase the production of onion around 27% higher than the last year, so that in future this will help to equalize or normalize the high rates of onion that we are observing in the market, okay. Currently, because if you especially look at, if you look at a lot of editorials, food inflation has been talked a lot, right, because our rates they are just keep on getting on increasing, right. That is why this food inflation is a very much challenging task for the government, and such measures they will definitely help you somehow ease this inflation in the future, right. So such information you have to integrate, you have to be smart with descriptive writing, that so that you can integrate these information, right. And now if you look at it, this particular line, so it says in Karnataka, the top Kharif onion producing state, sowing is completed in 30% of its targeted area, ठीक है, तो means of the overall area targeted by the government, 30% has been sown as of now, ठीक है। अब this is a simple news, and in the examination for state specific wise, anyway there will be no news, and this does not make any sense because now this number would increase, right. But what can you extract from it, right? So this also tells you how you can how you have to do proofreading in a particular news and extract what is important for you from this particular line. You get to know that okay, Karnataka is a top Kharif onion producing state, so this is something that you can keep in mind. देखो जो onion है ना in India, it is grown in our Rabi season also, Kharif season also, and the late Kharif season also, ठीक है। तो ये तीन टाइम हमारे होते हैं, right. So that is why it's been mentioned that top Kharif onion producing state, because अभी Kharif season is going on, and under the Kharif season sowing has been started, ठीक है। तो here what you get an idea of that okay, in Kharif season Karnataka is that state which produces the highest number of onions. So this is how you have to use, you have to proofread and understand that what line is important or can be asked in the examination, right. By that we are done with this particular news. Now coming to the third one, this is sort of important news because recently recently the National Fish Farmers Day was celebrated, and we know that how much government they are focusing on blue economy, right? So definitely when we are talking about blue economy, we are here, this particular news was there, right? So a lot of information was shared during this particular the Fish Farmers Day that was celebrated, right? So first of all, when does Fish Farmers Day celebrated? It is celebrated every year on 10th of July. Okay, every year on 10th of July it is celebrated. Now it is done like in celebration. What happens? So basically, workshops are conducted, seminars are conducted, right? And such programs like meetings are conducted, and in that, first of all, appreciation is done for the contribution of the whoever the stakeholders who are engaged in the fishery sector. So we are talking about fish farmers also, aquaculture industry. What is difference between fish and aquaculture? Fish is just targeting the picture that you're looking at, that is of a fish, right? But in water body we know there are other organism also, right? So aqua means what? Water. So aquaculture industry involves whatever be the other species also that are consumable or utilized and they are present underwater, all they come under aquaculture. Okay, so here we are talking about what happen every year. We conduct seminars, we conduct meetings, we appreciate the contribution of the farmers, of the aquaculture industries. Okay, sometime like mementos can be given to if anybody is doing any exemplary work in the field, right? Professional involved and whatever be the stakeholders that are there, right? But how this initiated, like why was this national, like every time when we celebrate something, that is either to spread awareness, जैसे आपका earth day हो गया, right? आपका environment day हो गया, yeah, sometimes what we do, if some person has done any exemplary work in a field, then on his birth anniversary, usually we take that birth anniversary only, on that day we dedicate that particular day to that person, right? For example, जैसे आपका जैसे MS Swaminathan hai, right? He is associated with the Green Revolution, right? Or Verghese Kurien, he celebrated for his involvement in the milk industry, right? Similarly, here in this case, National Fish Farmers Day is celebrated to commemorate and honor the contribution of Professor Dr. Hiralal Chaudhary. You can see the picture also. Okay, so he was a scientist, fishery scientist who belonged to the like Bengal region, okay? And he is the one along with like Dr. KH Ali Khuni, who has done a lot of contribution in the fishery sector. And he is also, Dr. Hiralal Chaudhary is also associated with the Blue Revolution, right? Why is it so? It is so because he guided, he means he originated, he studied about, okay, inducing the breeding and reproduction in Indian major carps. We know Indian major carps are widely consumed, right? Rohu, katla, we have, right? Mrigal, we have. These three are major carps which are which are widely consumed in India, okay? And in that we have to he was the one, Dr. Hiralal Chaudhary, along with his associate, he was the one who focused on increasing the production of major carbs so that the fulfillment of the food requirement, food security can be fulfilled of the country. Okay, so it's a very important, and he used the hypophytation technique. So in this, basically what happens, through hormone stimulation, this breeding and spawning, it is induced. Okay, the pituitary gland, there are different glands that exist in a body, right? So one is such pituitary gland. Simple, if in a very layman language you have to understand, simply you can understand, by inducing the hormone, the breeding and reproduction was stimulated in major calves, and this was done, this was directed by Dr. Hiralal Chaudhary, and that is why he is a very promising personality when it comes to fishery sector in India. And that is why, to commemorate and honor him, this day, 10th of July, is celebrated as the National Fish Farmers Day. Okay, and if we talk about this particular year, so Fishery Summer Meet 2024, it was conducted in your Madurai region of Tamil Nadu. Okay, and then again their seminars were conducted, their suggestions and all, the whatever be the current conditions of fisheries that are there, how we can improve, the normal discussion, general discussions that happens whenever a meeting is conducted, all those things were addressed in the Fisheries Summer Meet 2024, which happened in Tamil Nadu for this particular year. Okay, I hope there is no confusion as of now. Now let's come to the next news. So along with this, because देखो, now we have understood that National Fish Farmer was recently celebrated, right? So because of that reason, a lot of coverage of the fishery sector was done in news, and one such news that was present in PIB, it talked about this, the information, a lot of information, specific information was fisheries was given, which can be even directly asked in the straightforward, in the objective manner, in the MCQs manner. For example, they can directly ask that which India, what is the position of India in the fish producing industry? So we are the second largest fish producing country, right? So this can be very straightforwardly, it can be put in the objective manner. Similarly, like for example, we have around 8% share. Yeah, for example, we are also second in aquaculture production, right? Third in capture fisheries. So such can be directly asked in objective. But apart from that, again, these can be beautifully integrated in your descriptive writing, right? For example, there is one topic which talks about the fishery sector in India, right? Or it talks about the blue economy, right? Such topic can be asked, right? Because it is very near this fishery, this day celebrated. It is very near to now when the examination is coming. And fishery something is some we you all must be aware of that government is doing a lot in that sector, right? So this can be beautifully integrated. Like for example, if the question, like I'm just giving a random question in descriptive, something it comes about, scope of fishery sector in India, right? Or something like that. So you can beautifully integrate that currently we are around 8% share and we are the second largest fish producing country, right? And then you can add that whatever initiative government is taking under the Matsya Sampada Yojana or the sub scheme under it, right, to formalize this particular sector. You can also mention about the FIDF, okay, Fishery Infrastructure Development Fund that has been created by the government that will help the farmers or the stakeholders to develop more infrastructure in it. All these things, definitely it will boost up the production, it will boost up the export, and we can definitely in future we can expect to have that first rank, right, in the case of, you can say, production also, or in the case of export as well, right? But as of now, if you look at the news, it says that, and yes, you can also, when it talks about what is the scope of fisheries sector in India, you can definitely, you can beautifully integrate that currently it is providing employment opportunities to around 3 crores fishermen or the fish farmers, right? So it's not a very small number, right? So it signifies that how much we are dependent on fishery sector. You can also mention that how around like in the coastal region 30% of our population like lives in that particular space. So definitely there are a lot of avenues in fishery sector, right? So but these are the data points that can be used both in objective and subjective. It talks about that how 3 crore fishers and the fishermen, they are dependent or they get their livelihood and employment opportunities in the fishery sector. Okay. Apart from that, we have already understood in terms of fish production or also in the case of aquaculture production, we stand second. Currently, if we look at 8% of share in global fish production, we have just in fish. Please keep in mind, we are not talking about aquaculture. We are talking about for fish production, and we are not even talking about export, right? Please keep in mind, export is something different and production is something different. Maybe we are, for example, if we talk about tea, ठीक है, अब जैसे क्या वी आर द मेजर कंजम्पशन भी हम करते हैं, जैसे मिल्क का ले ले, भले चलो मिल्क का मान लेते हैं, फर्स्ट प्रोड्यूसर भी हम है और कंजम्पशन में भी हम है, ओके, प्रोड्यूसिंग में भी हम है, कंजम्पशन में भी हम है. So please keep in mind it talks about 8% share in fish production. Please don't manipulate this information that we have 8% export or something like that, right? Fish production में 8% है, तो definitely it's a good percentage, right? Good share that we are having, and we are the third largest capture fishery producer. Capture fishery मतलब क्या होती है? When in the natural environment you go and capture the fishes, so that is the capture fishery. One is culture fishery. In culture fishery you are creating an artificial environment, and in artificially, like you have created artificially a pond, so that is a culture fishery because you are culturing those fishes. And second is that natural river was there and the farmer is going and they are picking out, they are taking out the fish from it and then they are selling. That is known as what? Then it is known as capture fisheries. You are capturing the fishes from the natural environment. ठीक है? तो कैप्चर फिशरीज में प्रोड्यूसर में हम कितने हैं? अभी हम थर्ड लार्जेस्ट है. ठीक है. सो दीज आर सम ऑफ द इंफॉर्मेशन कैन बी ब्यूटिफुली यूटिलाइज. नाउ लेट्स लुक एट सम ऑफ द MCQs that are related to what we have just studied. Today news were, something like the fishery wala was more important. The both the data that we have studied and also about the National Fish Farmers Day. Rest apart, it was like generic news that were there. However, when we have read, chalo, let's understand. It says, as per the recent news that was there in July 2024, the government has targeted area under Kharif onion this year to be itna, which will be how much higher than the last year. So see in the following option, the option number D is the right one, 27%, as M. Mamta and Prithviraj has also said the correct answer. Now coming to question number 2. So recently recently देखो Fish Farmers Day was celebrated, so now we have understood, okay, 10th of July is celebrated as Fish Farmers Day to commemorate and contribution of the which of the following personalities, right? So these were the people who have somehow they have their contribution in developing agriculture or other sector in India. But specifically when we talk about the fish farming, in that case, when we talk about Fish Farmers Day, so to commemorate the contribution of which of the following personalities, okay? So here, yes, Mamta, Preeti, yes, and Akash, all are saying correct answer, and Shrutika as well. Yes, that is very true, Dr. Hiralal Chaudhary. See, I do understand because currently we have just read limited number of news, so you might be finding these questions easier. But when we will do a cumulative revision, right, or when you will see in the examination, then for many people it will be very difficult, right? As for the recent news, what is the total global share of India in terms of fish production? So is it like 50%, 33, 15, 8, or 27%? Okay. I hope you all will get the right answer because we discussed this a lot, and here I am looking at the answer. So see here, yes, option number B is the correct answer. 8% abhi currently contribution hai in case of like fish production of India. Okay. However, we expect that because of the initiatives that are taken by government, it might get increased afterwards. Okay. And now there is one question for you all. Okay. Again, you might currently find this particular question very easy to do because you have just read about it, but in the examination you will be way ahead of many aspirants if this question comes in examination, right? So this is a practice question for you all, and that is all in this particular video. Okay, and on that note, I really want to share one thing, some free content that we are providing on our YouTube on our website, which I really want to share. So if you open the website, and here if you which is edutap.co.in, here if you go to the free material portion and open the blog portion, here you can find category wise, like whichever examination you're preparing for example देखो जैसे NABARD Grade A, if you open it, you will find a lot of blogs that we have created in terms of preparation, what are the best books subject wise, how you can strategize yourself, in fact some success stories as well, so that you can read what toppers did and you can follow the same thing. So you can explore these blog topic wise also. For example, if you want to have exam information of job profile, strategy, courses, success story, definitely you can see, and it is going to definitely help you. So that is all in this video. Thank you everybody for watching the session, and all the very best for your examination. Will come again with another video, and